What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the War Boy Podcast. It is episode 296, and it is NFL Draft Combine weekend, which means the annual NFL team ownership grades have been released, which is the midweek entertainment. And then, Combine and stuff. I'm pretty sure so
It's
far, like every notable player said they're only doing
yeah, I
drills and
kind of
not.
hate that. No, they're like a lot of players have been like, I'm not partaking in like certain activities, or I'm only doing the interviews, or I'm
Has there
like,
ever been a player who declined interviews at the combine?
no, I would have been
Maybe
saying
from a
Caleb,
couple of teams if they're
like
going to go early, but
Caleb Williams would have been the one to do it, but like he didn't.
yeah, no,
So
I don't know. I was just having some fun
like
there.
there'd
I
have to
can't
be
think of any.
some. It would have had to be like a decade ago, because um
I would imagine
it's
Jamarcus
like
Russell did
before.
not attend
That's what
his
I'm thinking.
interviews.
Like I'm thinking like Sam Bradford kind of was the last guy that set like the mega contract that you sign as the
Ryan
first like.
Leaf
What I'm
definitely
saying,
didn't show up
I'm
to the
saying
interviews, but
you know how
yeah,
the regulations changed after Sam Bradford had that massive contract, because like there wasn't a set value. Like they negotiated on a deal once you drafted them. Like that was the whole thing
oh, for rookie
for
contracts, you
rookie
mean?
contracts. So like after
Oh
that,
yeah,
when they
Joey
set
Bosa did the same
guidelines,
thing.
I feel like it's a little different. But I think like a decade, like early 2000s, like there's Jamarcus Russell, absolutely not. That guy was probably sitting on his couch. I don't know what year that would have been. I was maybe playing the original
I could
World at
also
War.
imagine a couple of players that if they showed up to the interview, they interviewed the team. My number one example, Ndamukong Suh. He interviewed the Lions, not the other way around. He was like, "You need to ensure success if you draft me." I think that's how that
Yeah, and
interview
didn't
went.
go well then. Apparently,
He got drafted by the Lions, correct?
yes,
Yeah,
yes,
okay.
yes.
I would imagine he probably ran that interview. I like Joey Bosa, he held out Chargers. He like sat out the first like month
Yeah,
and a
but
half
they're still
for
like
his new contract.
it's only like the rookie deals. There's like a guideline they still have to follow. It's not like, oh, I'm gonna sit out unless you give me this X amount of money. Like no, each there's an allotment that each pick
Well,
in
yeah. Now
position
it's
a pick
yeah.
gets. So it's gonna be like the structure of the contract. Maybe if they're like, I'm not signing this to this point, but they all have to sign like a certain
Well,
total deal.
yeah. I mean, you're playing. But Shador Sanders can force his way out of Tennessee and Cleveland.
Yeah, that's
Those are
different though.
interviews he will not be attending.
Well, I did see though. Did you see the video of him with the hats on his backpack? It was like there's a
I
Browns
don't
one.
think.
So there's a video and he had like hats on his back, and it was like a Browns hat, a Raiders hat. I think maybe there was a Titans hat, and then it's like all quarterback needy teams, right? And then casually there's just a Vikings hat on there. I'm like, dude, what you think you're coming to Minnesota? Shador?
I
Like
mean,
it's not happening.
Shador, Minnesota might go hard. It might go hard.
I got JJ McCarthy, my
To be
Lord and Savior
determined
right
how
now.
hard that goes one day. But yeah, fun little time right now with all the NFL stuff. When I just saw the initial ownership grades, there were
God.
just a couple of chuckles going around. A couple, well, the Jets were like last in
I believe they're
everything.
dead last.
Uh,
Yeah.
yeah, let me just look up NFL grades. It should show up pretty quickly here on Twitter. It should be
Yeah.
out pretty quick.
NFL owner grids
Yeah, I'm trying to get the
article.
full grades like by I don't know, by like a little tab for everyone.
Oh,
Hold
you
on.
mean like, well, like you saying the total grids or like per section? Because there was like,
Yeah, per section.
yeah, because that's different. That's different.
Yeah. Cause there were some that I was looking at, and like for the most part, we're just looking at the ownership grades specifically, but
I've got it. I've got it. It's on NFLPA.com, by the way, just for reference if anybody
NFL
was like PA.
NFLPA. All right, this better pop up immediately. Okay, boom, got it. Okay, report cards. All right, so one thing immediately catches the attention. The Jets having lowest owner grade You know what? Be coaching for the Jets. Who is their head coach again? Post
Well,
Sala?
Sala, it was Olchich or
Was
Ochel or something like that. It was the original
Yeah,
defensive
he might
coordinator.
be the most forgotten interim head coach in the history of this
My
league.
favorite
But
thing is though the Raiders got an A minus on head coaching.
oh yeah, no. Like when you look at some of these head coaching grades, you're like,
I was
wait,
scratching my
they
head a
got
little bit.
so for example, New England Patriots, the highest graded thing was coaching. Gerard Mayo
Uh,
was the highest graded member of the
I would
Patriots
like to say
org.
that the bus got an A, Grant. The bus got an A.
Hey, in terms of what the bus could control, he did everything in his
He
power.
did. He did.
Owner, food, travel, weight room, treatment of
Well,
family might partially be on him, but I'd say that's primarily an ownership, like game day. What are you like giving to
I
the
don't know.
families?
Was it the Cardinals last year that had like you had to like pay actual money to get your lunches there?
Oh yeah, it was $1.50 for a banana.
Yeah, I clearly that has not been changed. They still have a D minus. And maybe it was an
Well, I
F
just
last
want
year,
to
so
point
maybe they
out,
did improve.
like
Maybe it went from a
four
dollar fifty to like
hours
35 cents.
like 4 hours after these reports came out, it got announced the Cardinals approved $100 million renovation of their practice facility. Just
Yeah,
hours after this report
I
card
don't
came
know
out.
if that's going to change the quality of their training staff, the treatment of families, and the strength coaches. That sounds like something that you need to invest in. That's not a facility.
Yeah, we can assume by upgrade. Well, they just said practice facilities. They didn't specify anything else. So we can assume Arizona weight room will go up. I thought that would also include food, but an upgrade of practice facility does not necessarily mean food upgrade.
I'm just
I
a
would
little
assume that, but it doesn't
I'm just looking at this.
necessarily mean it.
The Eagles got an F for team travel. Like, what does that mean? Like, are they flying commercial? Like,
Yeah, like I saw,
how do
I
you get an
believe,
F in team travel?
uh, okay, no, I thought Seattle was going to be lower because Seattle flies the most every single year out of any NFL team. But they're at A minus.
Like, I need to investigate this team travel.
I feel like the most startling jump from this year to last year. We don't have last year's grades up in front of us, but
I
the
figured
fact
out
that
the issue with the Eagles,
Washington,
Grant. I figured
oh
out the
oh
issue with the Eagles team travel. They say that the players feel like they should get first class seats on team flights instead of the coaching staff.
okay, so that's
That's
a
why they
Nick
got an F.
Sirianni thing.
Yeah, although I'll be honest, true, but I feel like there's a level of like pretentiousness that comes from that. If you're like the players, we deserve first class seats, not you coaches. The players get it, not the coaches, not the coaching staff. Like that feels like
Pretentiousness on the
entitlement
side of the
of the players.
players.
It feels like there's a
Like,
little
shut
entitlement
up,
there.
let the coach. Oh,
You need to earn your right to get those first class seats. And obviously,
well,
Saquon should be
we'll
having his
start
feet
small.
massaged up in
We'll
first
start
class.
small. Saquon, you're in first. Jalen Carter, yo ass gets your own row
You're
in
up, yeah,
first.
yeah,
Like Cooper DeJean, you get a
up
first.
there. You know who is
Or
not
yeah,
up there though? Jake Elliott should not be in first class. He should be towards the end
Jake Elliott,
of
while
coach.
watching his field goal playoff kicking film, can sit in first class. PAT film, last seat in coach.
Will Shipley, he can get business economy.
Yeah,
He
yeah.
can get business
Economy
economy.
plus. Yeah,
Economy plus.
Economy
That
plus.
works.
Yeah,
Yeah.
which
Yeah.
I believe Economy Plus is just like normal coach, but they call it Economy Plus,
You
so
got
it
like a little
seems
extra
like it's
leg
not that
room.
bad. You don't. They just like put plus on those seats to make it seem like it's better, but you have the worst seat on the plane. But yeah, I mean, what I was just thinking though, the Washington Commanders have B's and A's across the board, no C's. And in 1 year post Dan Snyder, can that much change?
Dan Snyder was that bad.
Yeah, I think the Washington team grades this season compared to last, I don't have last year's grades up, but I'm assuming Washington was like 32nd on all the things. That goes to show you what ownership does. You go from 32 to 11th
No,
in these
seriously,
lists.
yeah. Like, I mean, let's just look at the general bit of ownership. Like the worst owner in the league is New York Jets boy, Woody Johnson, who's looking at Madden to determine whether or
whose
not you can
sons, his sons look at Madden to run the team because his
somehow.
sons have more pull than
David
the
Tepper
GM.
is, I mean, outdoing David Tepper is crazy. David Tepper
Yeah, the fact
is
the
second
Panthers are
worst.
25th on here. So okay, Canales helped a lot with the A- coach. He helped out a
Yes.
lot.
Yes.
But yeah, D- owner, which I believe is tied for second to worst. Yes. B food, nice, good job. D travel, that's an ownership, kind of direct ownership tie. Travel. D. C plus weight room. B plus treatment of family. You know what? Better than the Chargers C treatment of family. So Southern
Seriously.
Carolina's
I am kind of
being
surprised
done
though.
correctly.
Robert Kraft got the fourth worst ownership ranking.
Yeah. Yeah. No, well, yeah, that's what a lot of people were talking about the Patriots, how lowly graded they were on all these. And my first thought when I saw that was like for the past like year, I'd say, yeah, 365 days, Robert Kraft has like gone on a national media tour with like this Patriots dynasty with like the documentary that he produced. And it was like the most fabricated, like soft puff piece story ever. Like they do not mention any bad part about Robert Kraft and they just paint Bill Belichick as like the evil destroyer of the whole dynasty. But it's like, yeah, like Robert Kraft, he's like basking in the glory days right now. He doesn't care about running the Patriots today.
No, literally, it's just all look at how good my old team was. The current team sucks. Look at the old team.
Yeah. So like I thought that made a lot of sense. I think it's I saw something that the New England Patriots team plane is so old that every seat still has cigarette ashtrays in
Yeah,
them.
I mean, they do have an F on team travel. I mean, maybe they say that. Let's see. Um, Players want an upgraded team plan. There is no Wi-Fi available, and there are seats with
That's
ashtrays
crazy.
in the armrests, like the
Yeah.
pull-out
Yeah.
ones.
Okay. Okay. That's a million times worse than
Players
cigarette
specifically
ashtrays or something.
responded that our plane is the worst thing: size, space, and safety, and it is not conducive to
And
preparedness
safety.
for athletic performance.
And safety is just
Crazy.
what an extra
Remember
little
who
detail to
was it
toss
that,
in. I
who
feel
what
unsafe traveling with this
what
team.
was it? Who was it? The Rams that the Patriots gave the Rams their plane to like fly to the playoff game?
Dodgers. Patriots gave the Dodgers uh team plane to fly back from New York after the
Did we
World
lose the
Series.
next game? Oh, after the World Series. Okay, that's different. That's a little
Yeah.
bit. That's a little bit. I was saying
But
if it was
I
during the World
like at the
Series,
time it was very funny because it was like the Boston sports team giving LA, who just beat the New York team, they're giving us their team. Like it was a funny troll job. But yeah, no, I mean, good thing our players were just like absolutely sauced on that flight back to LA
yeah,
and like it was okay.
Bruzdar may
But
not have been able to fit inside the seat, but
oh no, I know Walker was just downing bottles of Don Julio that whole flight. But I mean that I like recently saw a clip rewatch of Walker coming off the plane with the World Series trophy. That dude, when that video was taken, was 15 beers deep within a 6 hour period, like
better or
less
worse
three
state
hour
than Tom
period.
Brady on the boat during the
Better
Super
state,
Bowl.
better,
Better
much.
state.
I would say much better,
Tom Brady was
much
having too
better.
much of the
Tom
avocado
Brady on the
vodka
Super Bowl when he threw the Super Bowl
trophy.
trophy from boat to boat. Yeah, I mean, what are we talking about? That dude was just absolutely sauced. Also, like I don't know which one it is, but one of the Lombardi trophies has a dent in it because
That was
like Gronk
Gronk.
spiked it.
Spiked it. Yeah.
He's really spiked the Super Bowl trophy. The dude's an ant. Like what? Like
I got
you're
another one. Don't
crazy.
worry about it.
Yeah, but NFL draft combine season, I guess or combine wise, the biggest piece of news so far is Abdul Carter needs surgery on well that my question is has Abdul Carter now I remember he had an injury and the end of the year at Penn State. I forget what it was, but I hope Abdul Carter went the last 3 weeks preparing for the combine, had no idea he had a stress fracture in his foot, then shows up for team physical and is made aware that he has a fractured foot. I hope that's the case. If that's the case, he's still top 3 in my eyes. He will be on the field come September 14th, week 1, whatever the hell it is.
Yeah, I mean, also maybe Abdul Carter is trying to just not get drafted by the Titans, which I understand. So
Yeah, no, he could be doing this era's version of
or
the
the
Larry
Browns
Tunsil. Instead of the
or the
gas mask,
Browns.
you just have an injury. It's a bit
Still, by the way,
easier.
craziest thing ever on a draft day. It's
Yeah,
just
like
Ian Rappaport's like, hey, we have breaking news, and they just cut straight to the video. Laramie Tunsil like,
no, it
dude,
was
there's
crazy that
legitimately 6-year-olds watching the draft right now. It's like, Dad, what's that?
and you got Mel Kiper analyzing it. Like, look at the way he inhales. It's like, all right, like
So
this
that guy's
too much.
got good lungs. He'll be able to get downfield.
Well, the Pat McAfee clip of that was excellent. But I will say, Laramie, like at that time in the NFL, how like they were kicking like Josh Gordon out for weed and all that stuff. Like I could see the concerns, but like Laramie Tunsil, talent wise, he went from like pick. I don't know if he was going to go number 1 in that
No,
draft,
no,
but
no, no.
he went from like
That was
top
Jared Goff, Carson
4.
Wentz draft. I'm pretty sure.
Okay, so he went from like top 4, top 5 to like 9.
He went to like 15. I thought he slid for. I think that was also Paxton Lynch draft, by the way.
Late.
Just a little fun
Maybe
fact
like
there.
12. If you told me he went 9 though, I feel like I'd put my money on Laramie Tunsil was the 9th pick in the draft.
I mean,
7th. 7th is sticking out to me right now, not gonna lie.
I mean, let's see. That's Hall of
Give me
Fame.
pick 8. It's gonna be right in the middle.
I mean, if my computer wouldn't lag, that'd be really helpful here.
All right, Laramie Tunsil, pick number
pick 8?
13.
13th.
Pick number 13. But yeah, I mean, quite a drop for him. But yeah, no, Abdul Carter, I just saw he tweeted out the Darth Vader back to tank thing again. And it was cool the first time, but I mean, if you're gonna be pulling an Anthony Davis and Joel Embiid every year getting hurt, and you just post this Darth Vader picture, and you think like that's gonna make everything better. Abdul, I need you on the field. I need you on the field, Abdul Carter. I will also say, and it helps because this year is a weaker draft for Abdul Carter, but like Abdul Carter and Micah Parsons. Well, Micah Parsons was not used as an edge at Penn State, so slight difference. But like Abdul Carter is just like a worse version of Micah Parsons, and he's kind of like a lock top 3, 5 pick now, maybe with his injury. And Abdul Carter went like what? What pick did Abdul 8?
Abdul
7?
Carter has not been picked yet.
Or not Abdul, Micah Parsons. Micah Parsons. What
there you
picked
go.
him?
11, I believe. I think he went 11.
Yeah, so Micah Parsons is just night and day better than Abdul Carter in any way, shape, or form. But Abdul Carter is going to go like top 5.
12. Went 12.
Yeah, that's still ridiculous. That is ridiculous.
Bears could have had him.
Ridiculous. Micah Parsons is Micah Parsons. But
yeah, the Bears took Justin Fields, I believe, the pick ahead.
Oh yeah, no, they did. And that's the Trey Lance draft, Justin Fields draft.
So. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh God, what a horrendous time. I also saw something saying Saints starting quarterback Justin Fields next year.
I don't think that. Well, it'd be funny, but they can't do that with Derek Carr on the team still.
Yeah,
they also are going to suck, so there's no reason for if they're like they want to suck at this point. Like you either keep Derek Carr or you start Spencer Rattler. Like you're intending to be bad.
Or hey, if you want to suck, I know a guy whose initials are JF who might be able to get the job done for your team if you want.
Well, he's going to be the Steelers starting quarterback.
Yeah. Who maybe Steelers could get someone. Yeah, there are no quarterbacks that are like available.
What do you
like
mean?
Trade or free agent, like
Sam Darnold,
like Russell Wilson. Okay, but I mean that's
Matthew
like
Stafford.
Sam Darnold. not in Pittsburgh. That's not
He's getting
working.
traded. Aaron Rodgers.
Which we went over that. It might work in Pittsburgh just because it's like Tomlin.
Apparently, they're keeping Kirk Cousins as a backup on his massive contract in
Well, yeah.
Atlanta, which is the dumbest thing I've heard.
It's not like there's a franchise quarterback available right now. Like it's just like bridge quarterbacks. Pretty much.
Hey, Daniel Jones is a free agent. Don't slander franchise quarterbacks like that.
Yeah. So, even worse. Yeah, the deplorable quarterback market today, in the year 2025.
It is pretty bad. It is pretty bad.
Yeah. So JF1's most likely staying on the Steelers, but Saints Justin would be funny.
I mean, let's just see. Sam Darnold, Zach Wilson. That's not going to go well. Jared Studmuffin. Don't know about that. Jacoby Brissett could always work. He seems to take over a job some point or another.
Yeah. No, there's no one. There's no one out there at the quarterback position. So yeah, that's going to be a slight. Goodness. Yeah.
Zap attack. Tommy DeVito.
JT Barrett might be a top 5 free agent quarterback on the planet right now. It is looking grim.
Cooper Rush. Jimmy G.
So
Mac Jones, Jameis on the Steelers.
Not one notable quarterback has been named on the Steelers so far on this podcast today. Out of any
Joe Flacco.
Yeah. So it is awful. It is an awful time. And my like other thought though is coming up here. Like I don't even really know what big time quarterbacks are going to be coming out of college soon. Like Arch maybe would be cool.
I wouldn't count Quinn. I don't think so.
No. Quinn ass. Carson Beck ugly. Garrett Nussmeier sucks.
Drew Aller.
Drew Aller, gross. Rosy cheeks. Drew Aller, rosy cheeks. There's I don't know what quarterbacks will be coming out anytime soon. So yeah, like Dylan Raiola, was kind of nice for a little bit, but then he started sucking. Freshman year 1, maybe he has some time, but yeah, no, it's looking grim right now at the quarterback position. It's not looking great.
John Mattier.
Yeah, it's going to be a down period.
Noah Fafita.
All right, the way I'm thinking about it now is this current generation of franchise quarterbacks.
Nico.
They might be there for a while. Josh Allen might be playing till he's 40.
Yeah, it kind of feels like we had a quick span of a lot of decent quarterbacks, good college quarterbacks enter the league, and now it's kind of dissipated back away a little bit.
Yeah, there was a nice stretch from
DJ Lagway though. That's a guy.
Yeah, that's actually, I think I might be ready to say this. I think DJ Lagway has the capability of winning SEC Player of the Year.
Yeah, I mean, I'm
either thinking him, Lenora Sellers. There's probably a couple of backs in there,
Arch.
But it's there's just a lot of moving. Yeah. Arch is gonna win it, but Lagway would be right now is my most enticing.
I'd probably say that him and Arch are probably 1, 2. Yeah, they're probably 1 and 2 right now.
Yeah, Arch. If Arch is that good, he will one and done it as a starter, and he'll be in the draft next year. Because people forget last year was his redshirt freshman year. That was his second year.
And he did get a decent amount of playing time for being the backup.
Yeah, no, I mean he did play a good amount, but yeah, quarterback situation looks dire right now. But this draft though specifically, just one of the most forgettable, boring drafts I've seen in a long time when it comes to top end talent. But mid round, that fat in the middle boys.
Did Ewers not leave?
A lot of fat.
Did Ewers never leave Texas?
I think, yeah. I don't think he entered the draft.
No, he was in the draft, and then he came back out, and I thought he was going to transfer from Texas. I stopped following it at that point. I didn't realize he's still on Texas right now.
I've yeah,
That boy
I
ain't
I have
starting
no
there.
idea.
I don't know what he's doing. No idea what he's doing.
Yeah, I mean Quinn, tough situation to be in. I do remember though there was a period of time like week 6 the season where I'm like, damn, if Quinn Ewers was my quarterback, Ohio State easy wins the Natty. I don't know if Ohio State wins the Natty if Quinn Ewers was quarterback last
Probably
year.
doesn't. Let me answer that
I don't
question for you.
know. I don't know. But
Lights are too
yeah.
bright.
Uh, in terms of this next draft, top end talent, not the most enticing guys up top, but I think there's a lot of talent mid rounds. And by mid, I'm saying day 2 to round 4 and round 5 in the NFL draft. I'm not going to say round 6, 7. Who cares?
Yeah, yeah.
But we were talking the other week about some running backs that are interesting. I don't want to spend too much more time talking about like those running backs specifically, but it's just like I'm now seeing a lot of people online just going around saying Trevion's the second best running back in the class, and it's just like nice to see people are watching tape and using that to use their scouting judgments primarily off of film rather than stats on Caleb Johnson and Amari and Hampton. But one thing I will say though, one player specifically. I said a couple weeks ago, but I saw a breakdown from Theo Ash on Jack Sawyer, and it was a good watch as an Ohio State fan, seeing an outside perspective break down Jack Sawyer, because at this point in my Ohio State fandom, Jack Sawyer is so beloved in my eyes. He can do no wrong in my eyes right now. He is like so high up my list of can do no wrong. But then I watched this Theo Ash video primarily talking about Jack Sawyer's ass and lack thereof.
Well, in legs.
And it was like the complaints in my mind that have been boiling up for Jack Sawyer over the years. I didn't quite know how to verbalize them, but Theo Ash did it quite well. It's just there's certain things that are just off about him, and he doesn't look like a D end. He was calling out the Ohio State strength coaches, and I think he's right, because Jack Sawyer has a disproportionate body where his upper body is much bigger than his lower body. And it just like, it looks like he's skipped leg day for the past 5 years. It's a very strange build. But he was just comparing him and like JTT. And I'm thinking NFL success for them too. I don't think any of them are going to be like a game breaking edge, but I think JTT could be like Jonathan Cooper.
I'm currently looking at
I think Jonathan Cooper put up like 7.5 sacks last year.
I'm looking at ESPN's board for the edge rushers in this class. Okay. Jack Sawyer is ranked 17th. JTT is 10th on their board.
For edge rusher position.
For edge rushers entirely as a position. The first 5 guys that they've got are Abdul Carter, obviously.
Abdul Carter.
Abdul Carter. Michael Cardle, Michael Williams, Jalen Walker, Shamar Stewart, and Nick Scorton. So
Scourton. Yeah, okay. Shamar Stewart.
Thanks for that. I didn't watch too much A&M ball, I'll be honest.
Didn't have the greatest production, but they're both like the raw freaks, where it's like one day they made
6. They got a guy from BC, Donovan Izuraku. I don't know how to pronounce that last name.
Donovan E.
BC like Boston College. I don't know if you've paid attention to him or not. I have not heard of him. 7 is Mike Green, Marshall guy. 8 is James Pierce. 9 is Braden Swinson, and 10 is JTT. Josiah Stewart comes in at 11. Jordan
I was going to say,
12.
where's Josiah Stewart? That was going to be my next question. Yeah, I actually think there's some pretty good edges. Like Josiah
It's a
Stewart,
good
I like a
class
lot.
overall.
Like JTT, I don't know if year one JTT is going to be an absolute dominant animal for you, but like I could see JTT starting in the NFL for like 8 years. Yeah. But of all those edges you just mentioned, Abdul Carter is getting like the most shine. Micah Parsons comparison makes sense.
Obviously. Right.
Uh, Two guys that you just mentioned I want to talk about though. Number one, Michael Williams. This dude, Michael Williams, is an absolute freak. This man, Michael Williams, is so unbelievably good. I think Michael Williams has like the best chance to become. He's not like a speed rusher outside. He's a 2 point stance outside linebacker, but it's like a Khalil Mack power rush outside
I was gonna
linebacker.
say Daniil Hunter.
Uh, I'm not quite familiar with Danielle Hunter's exact like pass rush type, so I'm not gonna act like
A
I
little
know,
bit more
but
speed, but
I'm
he uses
thinking
speed and moves more so than
like
power
a
rusher.
Khalil Mack. Like Michael Williams has the frame to be bullying tackles in the NFL. He's right now on
I mean,
Georgia's
6'5", two sixty
Georgia
five.
listed 6'5", 265. Uh, there's that, but more so, if there's any scouting nerds out there, watch Georgia versus Texas the first game they played last year, and watch what Michael Williams does to the Texas tackles. Watch what he does to their pulling guards. Okay, Michael Williams is a man playing against boys. That's how I could describe Michael Williams. Freak athlete, absolutely all over the place. I'm blanking. The other Georgia DN or edge, Jalen Walker.
Jalen Walker, yeah.
Yeah, Jalen Walker. Okay, Jalen Walker, I would say is somewhat like Trayvon Walker, who just got drafted to the Jags. Is that his name?
Yes, yes.
So I'd say somewhat similar in the sense raw prospect, not as much production. Same with Michael Williams, not crazy production at Georgia, but contributors who got on the field early and played as true freshmen, as true sophomores at Georgia with other freak defensive players all across that D line, and they were still getting playing time. But like I'd say he's like a little bit more raw. Maybe not year one, he's putting up 12 sacks for you, but in 2, 3, 4 seasons, he could be a consistent 14 sack a year guy. But like he's a
A
bit
lot of
more of the
talk.
speed. He's a bit more the speed guy, the speed rusher, outside linebacker, Jalen Walker. But I would say Michael Williams is, I think, more enticing in the sense that he is bigger, his frame is larger. I think it is easier for Michael Williams to become dominant in the NFL quicker than it is for Jalen
Yeah, no,
Walker.
when you have
Uh,
the size, like the size, yeah, that's something that you can't teach because I mean it's inherent. So,
yeah,
um,
like I think for those edges, I love those two guys a lot. Everyone knows Abdul Carter. He's been
you're muted. Hands on the mic. Hands on the mute button.
James Pierce. I think has been falling down a lot, and I think like
He has
for good
character
reason.
concerns.
Oh, I didn't know his character because I'm going purely off as a football player. I'm not that enticed by James Pierce. Now that you tell me there's character concerns, yeah, now I'm out on James Pierce. But say 6 through 8 edges again. There's one other name we have
Edges
there.
6 through
Yeah.
8. By the way, also this says that Quinn Ewers is in the draft. I thought he pulled himself out. I don't know why.
Okay. Yeah. Shit. We'll find out
I will
tomorrow
figure it
when
out.
the
Yeah.
quarterback does their drills.
Um, yeah, six through 8 is BC guy with the
Yeah.
last name, Mike Green, and James Pierce. That's James Pierce is 8.
Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. But edge class.
A pretty good edge class. I mean, a
Yeah.
lot of guys from the same school. Like we have, I mean, 2 Georgia guys in the top 5, 2 Texas A&M guys ranked in the top 5 here. We have 2 LSU guys in the top 15,
Oh yeah.
2
The A&M guys. That was it.
2 Ohio State guys in the top 20. Two Ole Miss guys in the top 20. So I mean, a lot
Yeah,
of
the A&M guys, they seem like guys that they I don't know if they're ever going to be like your 11 plus sack season type players, but like I could see them both being a Josh Sweat type of player where he'll put up 7 and 8 sacks being your second D end. And then one day, when he hits free agency, you're going to have to overpay for him. And then he'll be underperforming his contract, still putting up like 7 sacks, 8 sacks, but you'll be paying him more than you would like. That's my prediction for Shamar Stewart.
paying him more than you would like.
Yeah, when he gets to his second contract, he's
Okay, that's
gonna
what I was supposed to say. You're paying the first round pick likely, or maybe
no
second
no
round
no
pick
no no
higher than you like.
no 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 no. No. I do think though in this class, my favorite position group to watch is interior D line, without question. The Michigan boys up front are both just absolute game breakers in my eyes. I would say like today, right now in the NFL, next
So
season as a rookie, Mason Graham will be the best as a rookie. Uh,
also, by the way, just going through this list here, Mason Graham's number one. That doesn't surprise anybody. Walter Nolan, though, is above Kenneth Grant. Walter Nolan's two, Kenneth Grant's three. Derek Harmon from Oregon is at four. TJ Sanders from South Carolina is five. And then you have Tyleik Williams from Ohio State at six.
Yeah, I'll be honest. Like Tyleek, I can get into him in a second. What I think, but like Mason Graham, I think year one is freak. I any defensive line in the NFL except the Eagles, I guess, but he would be a contributor on any other defense. Like shit, even the Chiefs, they won't get him. But if Chris Jones was with Mason Graham, oh my God, no guard in the AFC West will make it to next season. They will all be cut. But Kenneth Grant, I think, is the more upside prospect. Maybe not greatest returns right away, but Kenneth Grant, I think, is listed like 6'3", 6'4",
Let's
340.
see. Kenneth Grant is listed on here at 6'3", 339.
Okay, 6'3", 339. But he's a very, very big boy, but he's also one of the most athletic defensive linemen, nose guards for that size I've ever seen. There are clips of him at Michigan where he is running down running backs. He is hawking running backs that have broken off and are going off to score. Like he will hawk them down. He seems like the more freakish athlete, may like probably needs some more time like polishing his like technical abilities and skills, but like Jesse Minter has raved over Kenneth Grant for the past 2 seasons. Like Jesse Minter has talked about like Kenneth Grant long term, he believes has the most upside of that entire Michigan
That's like his
defense
passion
from 2 years
project
ago.
guy.
No, literally, like Kenneth Grant is Jesse Minter's Roman Empire. That's who Kenneth Grant is to Jesse Minter. He's his Roman Empire. But Kenneth Grant, I would say it's more so 3 years down the line, 4 years down the line, he will be hopefully a game record destroyer. Like
I mean,
that's
you
what
think
you're
that he's
drafting
just
him
kind of
for.
rotating in then, like over the next
No, no,
couple
no. Like
seasons?
he's still like starting all the time, but like I don't expect him to be Jalen Cartering around year one. I
Well,
don't
the
expect
difference
him to
is
be.
there's the concern though. Then he turns out like Mozzie Smith, who kind of sucks.
Well, Mozzie Smith is not the athlete Kenneth Grant is. Mozzie Smith's lazy as shit, kind of undersized, small,
Or
and he
Jordan
went to the
Davis. I feel
Cowboys.
like Jordan Davis, like for all the Superman stuff that he was doing in the combine, has not necessarily. I mean, Jalen Carter obviously took over a little bit, so it's hard. But I
Yeah,
feel like
like
Jordan
I was
Davis
supposed to
has
say,
not been
Jordan
like.
Davis is just too big. He's too big. You physically are incapable of playing 70 snaps a game if you weigh 360. It's like it's too heavy.
Well, if
Like
you let me tell you something. Let me tell you about this guy Walter Nolan, who weighs he weighs 290. I thought I said 390.
Yeah, no,
I'd be
Walter
very
Nolan is not
concerned.
390. No, yeah, Walter Nolan's a bit more of a smaller guy, but Walter Nolan's a bitch. So like Walter Nolan came from A&M. He went there purely for the bag. The only reason he committed to Texas A&M in June. Well, every Texas A&M player in the top 50, all those D linemen you're seeing, Shamar Turner, Shamar Stewart, all of
Yeah.
them, like they were all the 5 stars in that A&M class that all went there purely for the bag. And yeah, no, all of them, I question every single one of their character. Like, hey, Walter Nolan could be dominant. Like, and I know he has the capability of doing it, but he's just more risky in my eyes. Like the odds of him busting, I feel like are pretty good. Pretty good for what you'd expect. Like by
Okay.
Walter Nolan bust, I mean he's still starting for you, but he's not
Well, he's like a
like a game
rotation.
wrecker. He's
Okay.
not like
Like a
he's just
Kalijah
not.
Cansey kind of vibe.
I don't know that much about Kalijah Cansey to exactly give a comp there, but just he's just a guy on your team.
I gotcha. Um,
Like,
so
yeah,
you want to know what's interesting to me though? I was just looking at the wide receiver group for this draft, which by the way, I mean I could be wrong here, but this seems like a
it's not very
pretty
good.
bad wide receiver room. What is interesting to me though is they have Trey Harris ranked above Emeka Egbuka, which I was curious to hear what you think about that because right now the 1 through 5 goes Tet, Matthew Golden, Luther Burden, Trey Harris, Emeka. Tez Johnson's all the way
On
at 9
ESPN or what's that
on
NFL?
ESPN. Tez Johnson's all the way at 9, by the way.
Yeah, I love Tez Johnson. Massive fan. I think he's very good. Trey, like the thing about Emeka is like I don't think Emeka can be a wide receiver one on any. Like he's a slot guy. I think 78% of his snaps at Ohio State came out of the slot. Uh Emeka's best tape would be his second year at Ohio State. Year after JSN left, he had CJ throwing to him that year, and he was slot guy that season. That was his best year on tape, and he was like all reliable. Like he's not gonna wow you. He's not making the crazy Jeremiah one-handed catches, but 3rd and 6, you need a 8-yard dig or 8-yard quick out. Boom, Emeka. Boom.
I mean,
Little hitch.
you know
Boom.
who I don't know if how you're going to feel about this. I guess they just drafted Ricky. Um, but if the 49ers trade Debo,
Oh, I
maybe,
think Emeka would be
maybe.
really good at the Niners.
I guess maybe Ricky plays slot though for them. I don't really know. I
I've
didn't
I have
watch too
no
much
idea.
ball for them this season. Um,
Yeah,
but it
Niners
would be
weren't that
interesting.
fun of a watch this past
No,
season.
no,
No.
no,
Uh
no.
I think though, yeah, Ted McMillan should be wide receiver one. He just has the build, the size, like to be a wide receiver one in the NFL. I also just feel like he's most likely to have the most production as a rookie in year one based off that. But like I could see a Mecca having the most production based on scenario and landing spot. Like one team that like it doesn't make sense because Jaden Reed is there, but like a Mecca on the Packers, I feel like would just work. Like
I honestly
it
was
doesn't
thinking
make
about
sense for
that,
them
but
to
I
do
couldn't
that. But
remember if Jaden Reed was technically a slot
he's
guy because
slot.
they move him around a little bit, but I believe he is slot number 1.
I think he got moved around a ton when Christian Watson had his annual injury, and then the whole wide receiver room got shooken up, and our boy Dontavian Wicks moved to slot. Uh,
Yeah, yeah.
but
Butterfingers for this past
yeah, I
season.
mean Dontavian Wicks kills me. Oh my god, that guy. I thought he was the pickup of the year, week 5. But no,
I know
yeah,
you
a
did.
Mecca, like think of it kind of like Lad. Like I'm not drafting him to be my wide receiver one, Malik Neighbors, Marv, like take over my team, run my offense through you, like Justin Jefferson or Jamar Chase. He's not that. But like, yeah, he could be your lad. He could be your Chris Godwin. He could be your Jordan Addison. He could be your two putting up 1,100 yards. But he needs
JSN.
another wide receiver on the team. Like he needs another wide receiver on the team. JSN, I don't think he needs another wide receiver on the team to go get his 100. Like I think Emeka does.
Zay Flowers does.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
But like Emeka's a slot guy, but it's not like your speedy, quick gadget guy. Like it's your old reliable third and
So you're telling me
four. I
what
need a
what
6 yard hitch. Boom.
what Quentin
Emeka.
Johnson was hoped to be and is not.
No, no, no. No. Quentin Johnson broke every single piece of scouting information in the history of wide receivers. All right. He was a 6'4" tall guy who should be a physical guy, but he sucks at the point of the catch, is not physical with the ball in the air, and is known as a yak guy. So to me, that sounds like he's not a very good wide receiver.
Wasn't Odell technically known as a yak guy before
Yeah,
the
but
NFL?
he's fast. And he does
Fair.
put up yak. You saw Odell. He can go score touchdowns. He can house a slant.
Before his ACLs blew out, but yeah.
Yes. And before the New York Giants sent him to Cleveland to quote Odell's words, not mine, sent him to Cleveland to die. Those were Odell's words, not mine. Okay. That's what Odell said. But like, yeah, no, honestly, I think Odell's actually like Odell fits in that mold of a Justin Jefferson, Jamar Chase wide receiver that can do anything.
We're getting a fraud alert.
Anything. Now,
We are getting a fraud alert right now.
okay.
Oh,
Now
no,
I
what
just
thing
said
was that
Justin
on?
Jefferson and Jamar Chase.
Are we talking? It might be on
We
a
know
Mecca.
they're not frauds.
It might be on a Mecca
Wait, what?
because that's the general basis
Odell.
of the.
Well, it was just Odell, which we know is true. Odell is a
Or
fraud,
Quint or QJ, which also
which is also
true. Okay, all right. I mean that passes.
I will say this with a Mecca, like why I think a Mecca, I think a Mecca will be successful in the NFL, but I just if a team drafts him at pick 16, I
or if
worry
you draft
that
him in the 5th round.
yeah, if the Chargers got a Mecca Ibuka round 5,
I'm
I'm
saying
ready to
if you
say,
in fantasy drafted him 5th round in his rookie season, career's over.
oh yeah, no, he's done. I'm just if a Mecca goes like pick like 15 though, I'm slightly worried that the team who drafts him will expect him to be a wide receiver one. He's not that. He isn't. You're not gonna get a Garrett Wilson. He's not that. He's just not that fast. It really comes down to speed. He's not fast enough to be.
I mean, I'm assuming you would say out of the group of recent Ohio State wide receivers, so Chris Olave, Garrett, JSN, Marv, he's probably the last ranked wide receiver.
Yes, I would say he is the worst out of that bunch. Tough crowd to be compared to. There's some pretty damn good football players. But yeah, no, I would say he is the worst of that bunch. Yes.
That would make
Not
sense,
saying he's gonna
though.
be bad, but hey, the guys that you just listed were all really good. Really good.
In college, I mean, in the NFL, it's still yet to be seen because
Yeah,
some
I
of
mean,
them apparently have
hey.
effort issues.
I will say this. If you told me a Mecca Ibuka has more receiving yards than Marv next year, I wouldn't be shocked.
I think if
I
the
wouldn't be
Cardinals
shocked.
if the Cardinals get some wide receiver help,
Yeah, it's more so a Kyler Murray Cardinals thing.
yeah, still, Kyler Murray's not a guy that's winning you. He's not going to win. He's not winning.
A franchise.
He's not a franchise guy.
Yeah, and when
He's
we
a
say
good
franchise quarterback, we mean a guy that will win you a playoff game.
That's or a Super Bowl, get you to a Super Bowl. That's a higher echelon of it, though.
CJ Stroud, 2 playoff wins first few years, like
franchise guy,
franchise quarterback.
Like Kirk Cousins technically did get the playoff win, so in that essence, like once you have the playoff win, then you're like, okay, this guy can be a franchise guy. Now, whether or not you have
I'm not saying Kirk's a franchise,
but I'm saying like there's a tier system in it though. Like you establish yourself, and you kind of can go to the lowest.
When I say franchise tag, I mean franchise guy. I mean a guy that I will pay them $55 million a year, let them take up that much of my cap, and it's actually the right decision to help us
I
go
mean,
to the
so
Super Bowl.
let's wrap with this.
There's
Then
not many.
this will be a fun way to wrap this up. Then we're gonna go through the top
Every
30,
franchise quarterback.
the top 30-ish, 32-ish quarterbacks from last season, and you're going to say franchise guy or not franchise guy.
Okay.
So just quick, easy one: Joe Burrow,
Yeah, franchise guy.
Jared Goff.
Not a franchise guy.
Okay, interesting. Even though they won playoff games, not a franchise guy.
I don't think Jared Goff's the 40, 50 million guy that you're like, oh yeah. As long as we got 16 back there, we're good. No one's saying that.
Okay, Baker.
No.
Okay, interesting. Geno Smith,
Next.
Sam Darnold,
No.
Lamar,
Yes.
Patty,
Mahomes.
Patty Mahomes.
Next.
Aaron Rodgers, this point of his career,
No. Yeah, no.
during his prime,
Of course.
Justin Herbert. Yeah. Not confident, but yeah, I guess. Not
Yeah.
confident in that one. Brock Purdy. No, he's not. He's not a franchise. Not that quality guy. Good quarterback, good manager, not that quality. Kyler Murray.
No.
Good athlete, good quarterback, bad decision maker, not franchise guy. Bo Nix.
I'm not ready to say it yet.
Can't put it on him yet.
Verdict is not out.
I would say as a progressive state, he's getting like close.
So
He's
far,
close.
He is on the track to be one. I'm not ready to put that pressure on Bosif yet. I'm not going to place that pressure on him. My role in the media and how much weight I have in terms of his mental health, I'm not going to say anything. So.
Stafford.
No.
I still say yes. Because last year he was pulling stuff out of his ass out of nowhere and winning them games. 2 years ago, no. Last season, I think yes. He's like a light switch, on and off. Don't know.
I'm also kind of thinking franchise like a 5-year window.
Yeah,
you're thinking
a little bit. You're thinking a little bit.
Do
younger.
I have 5 with Matty Staff?
Probably not.
2 on a 2-year run, sure.
Sure.
Hey, when Stafford was traded to the Rams, yes, at that time.
Yes. Josh Allen, ultimate thumbs up. CJ, thumbs up. Jane Daniels, thumbs up. Caleb Williams. Right now, no.
Yeah, right now it's no.
Well, we're working in a very limited frame of definitions here for franchise guy.
I'm gonna say the only rookie quarterback that I'm official verdict in franchise Q is Jane Daniels.
Jane Daniels. I agree with that. Kirk Cousins / Michael Penix. No to both.
Verdict is not out on Michael Penix.
Kirko. Right now for sure. Kirko is not. No. Jordan Love.
No.
Jalen Hurts.
Yes. Yeah. I was about to say no because I'm a hater.
Super Bowl.
The fact I was about to say no, I'm a yes. Yes, Jalen Hurts.
So just real quick, right now we have Joe Burrow, we have Lamar Jackson, Patty Mahomes, Herbert.
I'll put an asterisk on.
Nix is getting there. But Stafford, Josh Allen, CJ Stroud, and Jaden Daniels and Hurts. So we have 9 guys through 20 players, 21 players that are franchise guys. Tua. No. Tua is not. Russ. No.
The hell?
Russell Wilson. No.
Trevor Lawrence.
Bryce Young. We're getting there. Bryce Young.
No. But the way the last half of the season went.
Getting there.
Bryce, maybe. Not dead. Still alive. Got a heartbeat.
Drake May.
Verdict's still out, but trending.
It's the same as Bo Nix. Like it's about to be there.
Same as Bo Nix.
Very close.
Might be a tad bit above Bo Nix because his situation was so awful and he didn't.
It was a tick below.
Okay.
Yeah. Derek Carr slash Spencer
No.
Rattler, both or no.
No.
Jameis Winston slash Deshaun
Yeah,
Watson, both
no.
or no.
No. Yeah, no.
Uh, Will Levis slash Mason Rudolph, no. Um, JJ McCarthy,
Verdict is out.
verdict's out. Quite literally, the verdict's out. Trevor Lawrence, no.
No.
AOC slash Gardner Minshew, no. Dak, no. No.
Hell no. It's
Dak,
a
Dak,
hell no for Dak.
Dak is definitely not. Um, I mean, that's like
Pretty much though,
there's
there aren't many.
Nine guys. Nine guys. So we have one of them with an asterisk and two rookies that are kind of climbing there. So maybe 11 in total.
Some guys could get in there. But it's
11
there's
out of
not
like 33.
Many. Yeah,
no, there's not.
I would say though, for those like 9 to 12, 13 teams, at least quarterback wise.
Anthony Richardson. Even forgot that guy. Anthony Richardson. No.
No. Mm-mm.
I think that's all. I think that is all of them. Yeah.
Oh, big money moves. Chargers cut Trey Pipkins. Oh, yes. Oh, I'm just saying, slight thinking. Cutting Trey Pipkins now opens up a guard spot for the Chargers.
Interesting.
I don't know if they want to address that. I would, if it were up to me, I feel like you can go get a guard for $6 million in free agency, and I would rather spend.
But there are a lot of teams this free agency that guard is a priority for them. So okay, it's a question.
Let's start with this. How many teams in the NFL are confident in their guard play next season? Is it over 5 teams?
Over 5, probably.
Are there
on both guards?
Yeah,
at least 5. At least 5.
Okay, but we're not so certain of that.
I would assume there's. I mean, I have to look at the spreadsheet that we got that the unnamed intern made, but it is the unnamed.
But the way I'm thinking, one slight step further is that if there are potentially 20 NFL teams about to hit free agency who will be on the market looking for a guard, maybe there can be some other factors other than.
Would you like Ed Ingram? We can arrange that.
No,
we can arrange that.
But I'm just thinking. I'm thinking maybe there are some offensive guards from the Midwest out there in free agency who would like to be a Jim Harbaugh guy. There may be a couple of Midwest guards out there who would like a glass of milk with their steak.
Hey. Joe Alt needs a friend.
I would actually say he doesn't need a friend. Joe Alt doesn't like people. He just likes to fish in his free time. He does not like people.
Well, who is he going to have at the steak dinners with glasses of milk where you're going on the boat in the canoe to go fishing?
There's a clip recently, Chargers social media team. They'll have little interviews with the players, and they had Joe Alt and Rashawn Slater, and it seemed like the most awkward interview ever. But if you told me Joe Alt and Rashawn Slater, that was the 4th time they had ever spoken to each other outside of football in their lives, it would have not surprised me at all. It seemed like they had zero relationship outside of football.
I feel like Joe Alt and Justin Herbert are both the same amount of socially awkward that they probably get along great.
Oh yeah. I think they're like a stepbrother duo where did we just become best friends? It's like, yeah, we did.
Yup.
Yeah. No, yeah. Joe Alt, I don't think he enjoys human contact. Herbert, I know, doesn't enjoy The other day, I'm doing Chargers offseason, and I'm looking up a video for Justin Herbert, little clip. It was start with this. Justin Herbert has never been mic'd up in the NFL. He refuses to be mic'd up.
I think he has one time.
I think he has done it once for a practice.
That might have been it. Yeah. That was probably
and it's a practice, and it's like a famous clip. He says, "This is the only time I'm ever doing it for you, so get all the clips you need." Yeah. That's the start of it.
I think that's I think we're thinking the same one. Your hands on the mute button.
Yeah. I was gonna say Justin Herbert is a hermit. He doesn't leave the house. He stays indoors. Justin Hermit. But yeah, no, that's my guy. But I want him to be like that. I don't ever want him leaving the house ever. But
Yeah, no,
yeah,
it seems
yeah,
like your
that's.
entire team is kind of built up by with like the same kind of people because
Oh yeah, no, none
Jim
of them
Harbaugh,
are.
but also Jim Harbaugh got like ranked the worst use of time for any coach in the league this year.
Wait, say, ranked worse
He got
as in
ranked as he is the worst manager of time across all head coaches.
in the sense that he's messing around, like
I don't know. I don't know what it
I don't know
means,
what
but
that
it just
means.
says
I don't
that.
know
I'm
what that
assuming maybe
means.
it's like how you practice or like how the regimen's built out or something. Like I don't know.
Now, if he's my head coach. I'm done. I was gonna make a Michigan joke. I'm not. He's my head coach.
No, you're
He
allowed
wasn't
to. It's two
wasn't
separate.
send.
They're
He
two
may have been
separate guys.
sending Connor
Plausible
Stallions on scouting
deniability.
trips.
Yeah, there
He
you
may
go.
have been sending Connor Stallions on scouting trips, guys. Uh, just wait till you guys see the detailed schedule itinerary of Connor Stallion's flight logs. I mean, I know Michigan men with their degrees were capable of coming up with that itinerary. I know Michigan men were smart enough to come up with that detailed of a schedule plan quite easily for Michigan men, might I add. Should be quite easy for them.
Yeah. Um, but I think this is probably we're gonna wrap up the episode. So just in case you guys listen to this point, as a forewarning, there is a non-zero chance there's not an episode next week. The boys might be having a week break, but there's good reason for that, and we'll tell you guys in the next episode, regardless. But just a forewarning on that. But with that, thank you guys so much for watching, listening. Rate us 5 stars. You can find us on Spotify, TikTok, YouTube, Twitter, and on Instagram at WaterboyPod. You can follow me and Grant on Twitter at EffortsTakes and at WaterboyGrant. We post new episodes every week on YouTube and all podcast platforms. Make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss a single episode. We also post exclusive content on Instagram and on TikTok. So check us out there as well. And with that, we'll see you guys in the next episode. Waterboys out.